We're recording now. I was like, should I record? Never mind. Okay, so let's see here. Now, the first question, this is actually a doozy, so this might be a hard one to start with. But it was, how do we execute effective ads on Facebook and Instagram and etc.? So let's see here. I feel like if you're a brand new coach, this isn't even something that would be in my realm of concern. What do you guys think?
Until I was almost a diamond coach.
So I think it's really important that you learn how to just speak to people and how to list build and kind of how to like organically put yourself out there. And I think sometimes we'll try to shortcut it a little bit too early. I honestly don't use Facebook ads. I just haven't mastered them, honestly. I haven't mastered them, so that's why I don't use them. I'm sure they're great. I'm sure some people use them with great success. But yeah, I think I wouldn't even worry about it until you're like close to diamond or have like a couple months of clients under your belt, because you definitely want to know how to actually find people so that you could actually teach that to others one day if you so choose, right? Do you feel pretty safe?
Yeah, I agree.
But when you do want to learn, not to just like completely blanket statement, it's way too complicated to teach you on this call. When I was doing Facebook ad knowledge, I mean, it was like weeks, maybe months of watching video after video, listening to podcast after podcast. And the hard thing is it's always evolving. Facebook ad manager is always evolving. So it's not like it's a bad thing to learn. Like it's, you know, if you want to learn that, that's a powerful tool, right? But it is a very intricate monster, more so than just like post online, do this. Like it's going to be different for every single one of you, every single one of your markets, how much money you want to put into it. I mean, there's so many factors that it's hard to teach. So what I would do is go to a professional. Some of the people that I really like, I like Amy Porterfield's podcast, which is great. Jesse Reagan is really good at Facebook. He works with a lot of coaches. I think he has like a training that you can buy. But if you go on YouTube and search like 2016 Facebook ads, or I guess it's 2017 now, you can find a lot of information. What I would do is just do your research, click around, and what that's going to be is trial and error. It's kind of learning, you know, who's your, oh, I've got these crazy curls going on. Who's your target market? Like, who's your people? And really fine-tuning it for Facebook, which is a monster. I don't use Facebook ads on Instagram either, by the way. For some reason, they never work for me. I think it's a waste of money.
Yep.
Yeah, they're not effective for some reason.
There's a couple really good podcasts if you guys are interested in learning more about this, because I felt like I had to really research it for myself, because or else I was just putting some money in and it really wasn't working all that well. And a couple good ones are Social Media Marketing Podcast. I like that one. And also, Emily said Amy Porterfield. I'm looking at them right now. Another one is The Art of Paid Traffic. So that's another good one as well.
I just wrote those down for you guys. The Art of Paid Traffic. So those are all really great resources. And then it was Jesse Reagan like this, I think. If you Google it, it will probably spell check it for you. So let's move on. Tips on video making. Any preferred apps on the phone or laptops? Anything on how to make a professional video? Do we all use our iPhones? Jade, Natalie?
Yep, I use my iPhone only.
iPhone. I have a camera. I do not use it very often. It is annoying. I have to pull out the memory card and put it in my computer and actually edit it together. iPhones are fantastic. This is something that I'm a firm believer in. iPhone trumps Android for photo quality and video quality. If you look at any social media influencer, they use an iPhone. So, you know, you might love certain aspects of your Android, which is totally fine. But if you want to have the most professional looking pictures and videos, I would say the next time your phone's up for an upgrade, do an iPhone. And they only have like iPhone for life plans where it's like really cheap to have an iPhone. But it's also a business expense, so you can write it off on your taxes, which is really nice.
Yep.
I just use iMovie on my phone.
Yep, same. I do. Sometimes I use it on my computer, but almost always just my phone.
And that's a free app, right? Is it?
I can't remember if it was free.
It's free. It should come with it. I actually use Splice, which is another free app, but I find it very easy to use, user friendly. So that's the one I use.
I wrote those down in the chat box as well. If you guys keep your eyes on the chat box, I'll kind of like put in information. I've never used Splice.
I used to use Splice. It's pretty simple. It was before I had a.
Oh no.
Jade froze.
Where did Jade go away?
Mac though.
Oh no, we lost you, Jade, for a second there. So we need to try out Splice, apparently. Let's see. We have so many questions. We're just gonna keep rolling through these. Is there a suggested number of boot camps we should have running at the same time, as well as sneak peeks, coach pages, and what happens to those groups after we finish them? Do I delete it? Leave it open? This is like some overwhelm, right? I sense a lot of overwhelm in this question, which is like, I get it. One day when I was a new coach, I was running 6 challenge groups at once. And I was like, this is not my life. Like, what am I doing? Something is wrong here. Do you guys run one group?
Only one, always.
Yep.
So like a forever group?
I have a forever group on the Challenge Tracker app, and I branded it the Self Love Fit Club. So it's like my brand. It's very much so like long-term clients, new coaches, and then my coaches just kind of go off on their own. We are running a giant team one on Facebook now too, though. So, but it's like a team one, so it's not a lot of it's not a lot of like upfront work. Mm-hmm. So usually just always
That's
one.
The same for me. Yeah, we have a huge team one on Facebook, and then I use that app as well.
I must be wimpy because I only have one, and I use the Challenge Tracker app, and that is it. I have one group on there, and I add fresh people to it every month. Everybody gets to stay in. I don't kick people out. I think especially with the All Access Pack, it's 12 months, right? And I'm leading that. Seriously, you guys, like, what is this? I'm leading with that for all of my clients. That's a fantastic value. First off, if you guys are getting objections on price, start leading with the All Access Pack, because for some reason, people were a lot more objective, is that what I would say, to a $140 21-day fix challenge pack than they are to $199 for a whole year of fitness for everything we've ever created and all 3 programs we will be releasing this year. So that seems to be like all of a sudden, like, we have a more expensive program or product, but the value is so much greater that it's very great. But that's also a longer term relationship with your client, right? Because it's 12 months. So I have a forever group. I add fresh people to it once a month. Don't run 6 groups at once. You will die. And as far as there was like about coach sneak peeks and what to do, so have a calendar. I think that we are all 3 of us have planners, and this is never not by my side. I plan out my month ahead of time, and I stick to it. Stick to my guns. Yep, we've all got our planners. We're like, yeah. So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna figure out, what can you handle in a month. Don't overload yourself. Push yourself slightly. It should be a little bit like, oh man, this is exciting. This is a lot. But it shouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm just going to fall behind instantly, right? So I know exactly when I have a week or a prep center or when I'm bringing new people into my boot camp. If it's organized, it won't be chaotic. I think.
Yeah. And then
Oh yeah.
What I do is I just keep it super organized on my favorites tab over on the side. Like a sneak peek or anything, leave it open, and it just kind of disappears.
So the favorites on the side, and yeah, make sure you add them. So like when you're on your desktop, you can add like groups. You can click favorite, and it'll put it into your left-hand side of shortcuts for groups, so you can easily click them. When a group's over, I don't worry about deleting it. But I think you have to literally go through and delete every human in there one by one, and then you can cancel the group by deleting yourself. So I just
yeah.
I used to try to do that.
I also think that as a new coach, it was like 2 months. I was into my 3rd month, I think, when I ran my first sneak peek, and I was still hitting Success Club every single month. So you can totally do it without having a sneak peek. It just takes a lot of that upfront work and inviting people. But I think that's also very important as well to build those skills before you start to really build your own video skills too.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I think this might have actually been geared prep center wise for clients. I do think it's a cool thing to run for your clients, or have a video, or use your uplines prep party. If you're like a baby coach, not in a bad way, new. If you're fresh to the team, there's no shame in doing that. There's no need to recreate the wheel. And then when you feel like pushing yourself, you feel like you want to do things on your own, you can start to do things on your own. And the cool thing is you're going to get better as you go. So I feel like a lot of times we're nervous to take the leap because we're like, but Natalie's is better, or but Jade's is better. That's a good group. I don't want to run my own. But you're going to think that way forever if you don't take action. And trust me, my first groups, if I watched them, I'd probably cry because they were atrocious now. But I didn't think they were that bad. And I'd learned every time, oh, that didn't work. and I can do this differently. We all start there. Every single, I mean, I've gotten to see, and I, you know, of course I can like speak to myself, but I've gotten to see both Jade and Natalie's progression with videos and sneak peeks and prep center. Like they put me in there so I can like critique. They are totally different humans. Like they are so confident now. And I think all three of us are highly introverted. Like we're like, oh. So they're really, really good. But the only way they got really, really good was by like leaping out of the nest and flying a little bit. So let's keep rolling through these questions. How exactly does one get a team to reach the level Fit Boss Squad has achieved? Is there some sort of ranking going on? This is called the Elite system. It is in the FAQ. If you search Elite 2018, you can see the requirements. Elite is very much so team-based. So you would be building a team and helping them succeed. That's why it's a really cool title. It's not like I'm just like really good at signing up coaches. It's signing up coaches and helping them succeed in running their own boot camps. And then some of them might want to be business builders, and so they might build a team of their own, but kind of finding where each coach needs your love and mentoring and like helping them succeed. But so to kind of give you an idea, like to be elite, you would be a 5-star diamond coach or above, meaning that you are a diamond and you have 5 diamonds of your own. So that kind of like, it took me 2 years. 2 years. So that was kind of like a longer process. That wasn't like a bam overnight, and it wasn't even something I knew I wanted for the first entire year. So, but that's what that means. So Elite 2018, you can look it up, or also Premier if you're just curious. I mean, I think it's a great thing to research if it might be on your goal board. Yeah, great thing to know. When we want to approach someone on Instagram, can we do so by just commenting, or should we message them directly? I feel some people feel a little awkward because I messaged them and we don't know each other. I'll let you guys take this.
I do both. I think, go ahead.
I found that when I was messaging directly on Instagram, it was not as successful as it is on Facebook. So I usually just build a relationship through comments, and then sometimes it leads to the message box on Instagram. But usually I'll just ask them, honestly, for like my sanity. I'll be like, hey, do you have a Facebook so we can chat there? And if we have that relationship, like they're fine with it. I mean, they're like, yeah, that's fine. Because I just feel like Instagram DM box is a little bit less known about, I guess I should say.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. I mean, I do both. I personally comment, but if they direct message me, I'll respond, obviously, but I try to get them over to Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
Totally agree. And also something great to do if you really want to create a relationship with them is also follow them. So you can kind of go through and moderate this over time. You don't want to be following like 20,000 people and have 500 followers, because it looks more like you love people and people don't love you. That might sound really horrible, but it looks more amateur opposed to like you're some cool role model, right? So watch your numbers I wouldn't follow more people than the people that are following you. Just kind of keep that ratio as you go and grow, but follow them. So like maybe you comment once and then you keep like showing up in their world and cheering them on. That's really cool. And even if it's not like fitness things, if it's like they have really cute cats. Like I can't even tell you how many cat people I follow, and I comment on their cat like every day because I love cats. So I think that that's cool to keep like a longer term relationship. You could even write, like if you want to get real organized with it. I mean, I don't do this, but you could write down their like handles and go creep them if you wanted. But it's easier to follow them, so they just pop up in your newsfeed. You don't have to worry about doing that. Any specific way you search for people on Instagram? Hashtags.
Yep. Hashtags. That's the only way really that I search people.
Specific hashtags too. So like for me, I look for a lot of sweating for the wedding, sweating for the dress, TIU bride, like, cause that's a cool community. I'll tap into that. BB, I mean, there's so many, a lot of that, because those are very much so people in my market. Those are my people. But if you're just doing like Fit Girl, there's going to be like, I don't know, like 20 billion posts. So that's a very saturated hashtag, if that makes sense. So let's say, like, Natalie, what's your favorite hashtag?
I do a lot of like running moms or like mile after mile stuff. I know me and Lacey were talking about that once. We are all about like the running community.
That's really good. And Jade, what about you?
I do a lot from like when I was the most unhealthy that I was. I think about things that I loved at that point. So I was in a sorority. I was a teaching major. So I have mine pulled up. I have fur mom because I have dogs. So I have self-conscious, like just things that I would search. I know that when I was like just starting my fitness journey, I would search things like easy recipes and things like that. So I try and think about where I was then and what I was looking up on Instagram, and then I use those hashtags.
Very smart. Hashtags. And it does take a little bit of like work to find some hashtags that you like. Just do a couple a day and then figure out where your sweet spot is that you like to hang out. It might evolve over time, but that's how I find people for sure. And what I kind of did when I was really aggressively building up my Instagram, like from zero, was I would kind of set my timer. So for like 5 or 10 minutes a day, instead of sitting down and watching Netflix. And I have to say, and I hope that this isn't discouraging because like you love Netflix, but like I don't watch a lot of Netflix. Just because like I don't know, I just love like I just love opportunity in life and like talking to people and like I don't know, this is a really cool thing. But I know that Netflix isn't gonna advance me in any aspect of my life or goals, like even outside of business. Like that's not gonna help my relationship, like that's not gonna help my fitness goals. Like so what I would do instead was when I had free time, I would like sit and find friends on Instagram, you know, or like go out into the world and get a coffee and meet people, like whatever, like get social. But yeah, I would set a timer and I would just go search hashtags for 5 or 10 minutes. However many minutes you have is totally fine. Anything's better than nothing, right? Even 2 minutes is better than nothing. So do that. And I did that every day. Consistency in anything is what's going to produce results. So, whatever you do, if you're doing it consistently, you're going to see some kind of movement. So let's keep going through here. How to transition from a hey girl, then over time to talking about their goals, to then talking about a cost associated with it that doesn't sound like salesy. So I like prep parties for this. What are your thoughts?
Prep parties are the easiest way, but like, I don't know, when I was a new coach, we didn't have prep parties, so it was all about form. So I can't remember the exact words for it, like friend,
family,
occupation,
recreation, message. Oh no, I think we lost you, Jade.
My internet.
I know. So that's form, you guys. Family, occupation, recreation, message. This is a way to have conversations with people and kind of get to know them. And I get that it can still kind of feel like, but what? You're going to get a lot better at it. What you should do, every single one of you, is pick up that book. What's it called? Get over yourself. Get over your damn self.
Get over your damn self.
I'm mind blown. So I've been doing this for 2 years, right? And I've seen some success in this. I was mind blown. I was like, I'm doing so many things that I could be doing better. And I was like, whoa, like this is crazy. And it's going to kind of teach you like how to talk to people, but it's not weird if you do it really naturally. And I guess what I mean by that is like, I don't go straight for the price. I like to kind of invite them to the prep party to hang out with me and like learn a little bit more about what I'm doing and kind of just let them know, like, I'd love to see them there because I think it'd be fun to take our fitness journey together. And I just love a very casual approach. So I don't like to give them a lot of details like, well, my boot camp starts on January 2nd and we're going to be using Beachbody On Demand and let me show it to you in a little clip. I just really like to make it sound like, like super fun and casual, if that makes sense. I know that that's not very helpful, but it gets better and you're going to improve your conversational skills with practice. So that's kind of the answer to that, I think, is like, yes, you are bound. I know that this sucks, but let's just face this right now. You're bound to have at least 1 or 2 painfully awkward conversations as you're learning how to have conversations with people. But know that that's kind of like your rite of passage. Like it happens to everybody. You're going to get better. I would read conversational books. I don't remember what I had a book that I really, really loved, but I don't remember what it was. I'm going to try to think of that for you guys later tonight because I know I won't think of it now. But you're going to get better as you go. You're going to get like on video, you'll find your voice. On social media, you'll find your voice. You're going to find your inviting voice too with practice. You're going to see like what works and what pushes people away. And it's okay. Like it's okay that if like a combo bombed and you push somebody away, because like you have to kind of get through that to get better. And it's just one person and they probably will come back later and there's like billions of other people out there who need your help. So they'd rather you go through that one awkward conversation and get better so you can talk to them.
I agree. I'm like very much so the type of person that I don't like to start things off with just, hey girl, because I feel like that's almost to the point where it's like almost getting a little bit overused, like, hey girl. Instead, I'll just start off with like a question. I'll be like, I really like your haircut. If they're from my area, I'll ask a lot of questions about where did you go to get that, because then they're local I know them, or I'll like reconnect with old friends in a way that's just so natural. But basically what happens after you do that, you're just building relationships with people. Don't go in with an agenda. That's like my biggest piece of advice. Just go in like a person and like a friend and reconnect, because 9 times out of 10, you guys, these people come back to you if you're posting consistently every single day. And that's like what I found the past 5 months. I don't even have to do as many of these outreach messages, because now people are coming to me and they're like, hey, I've been following you for a while. And I'm like, what? Have you really been following me? But that's what happens over time.
Totally.
And even with the Hey Girl messages, like you can start Hey Girl messages and just talk to them about anything in their life or anything that you've seen, and then transition into saying you're running a free group to talk about your boot camp. So most people are going to be super into wanting to join a free group. So it's not like you're asking them to buy anything right then.
And I think, so I kind of like Natalie's idea of like asking them a question right away, because it kind of leads to conversation, right? So they might ask you a question too. And if you're consistently posting online and sharing like the fitness stuff, like it's probably going to come up in conversation naturally on their end. Like if anybody has a conversation with me, it ends in fitness somewhere. Like they ask me about it somewhere, in person, at like a family member, a random person on Facebook. Usually, even if it's not how do I get involved, it's just like, oh my gosh, I love your post. Or like, oh my gosh, I see you're always doing your workouts, even if it's like in an annoyed way. Like they know that that's what I do because they see it all the time. I see a lot of people too. This is something that I want to get the message out to the whole team. I see a lot of people hide behind their like page and not post on their personal page, and they'll share from their like page to their personal page. Facebook does not like that, like the actual algorithm of Facebook. Rip off the Band-Aid, start posting on your personal page. I know it kind of sucks and it's scary, right? I get it. But you're going to have a lot better traction. You guys, my Siri keeps just, I'm not clicking it and it keeps hearing me and it creeps me out. So I think if you stop hiding behind your like page and you get onto your personal page, you're going to see a lot better results, because those people like you and they like trust you, or they were friends with you at one point in life. I don't think it's a bad thing to utilize that. There's two views. There's either the, I don't want to utilize my warm market, I don't want to annoy them. Or there's the like, oh yeah, I get it. Like I want my friends to join me. This is really fun and cool. But hiding behind your like page, like statistically, like I don't want this to crush anybody's dreams. You're not, well, unless you go viral, you're not going to build a like page up to like 20,000 followers without moolah. Advertising on Facebook. It's what like pages are for. They're for businesses. They know you're going to pay to advertise. That's why my Facebook is at like 2,000 people over the past 2 years on my like page. So it's a great tool to have, because you can do specific ads if you wanted to for like a boot camp or something, like, but it's also kind of nice somebody could Google you and see that there is a business page there. That's more so what I use it for, is like another layer of legitimacy of, here's kind of my business page so they can see that. But I do almost all of my Facebook activity that produces clients or coaches or anything at all with results on my personal page. You're like, if you do a live video on there, you're going to see like 300 billion more people over there, which is why I think a lot of you hide behind your like pages, because you don't want to talk to all those people. But I think that it's something really smart. I don't even know how I got on this topic. I'm so sorry. But that's just what I've been seeing a lot lately, is people post on their like page and like it's so good, but like a tenth of your people might be seeing it, because Facebook knows you can pay for people to see things on your like page. So like a tenth of the people that like your like page might see. I mean, probably less. No, it's like 7%. So that's way less than a tenth, right? Is that less than a tenth? I don't know. It's like 7% or less. But yeah, that's going to go up if you post on your personal page, if that makes sense, because Facebook thinks it's just a personal Facebook page, which is nice. Do you guys have any, oh wait, I'm skipping. I'm sorry. I'm going back to the top. I'm curious, what section of the weekly scorecard did you struggle with completing the most when you first started coaching, and how did you get better at it? So that's going to be different for everybody. The way that you're going to get better at it is do that part first. Eat that frog. Read that book. Eat that frog. Any insight? Do you guys have any specific part that you like hated?
I think for me it was following up. But then as soon as I
Jade, we lose you every time you try to talk to us, girl.
It's the worst.
I think a lot of times for most people, it's reaching out to humans, right? Like talking to people, like posting isn't usually the scariest part. Working out, we can do. Personal development, we can usually handle. But it's the things that push us that kind of we like push off to the end of the to-do list. What you need to do if you want to be more effective, do that thing first. Read the book, Eat That Frog, or you can just take my word for it. The activities that we dislike doing, it's better to just get them over with. And eventually, you're actually going to get really good at that activity because you're consistently doing it, and you're not going to hate it anymore. And so that's how you turn a weakness into a strength. So start with the part that you might hate or you might think you're weak at. If you want to be great, that's what great people do. It's like they know their weaknesses and they work on them actively. Like I got tons of weaknesses, you guys, and I work on them and I try to make them a strength. And then, I'm always kind of fine tuning myself. But yeah, that would be my big advice there. Cause it's going to be different for everybody. If you're like very extroverted, you might love talking to people. If you're very introverted, that's going to be your hard part. And so with practice, you'll get good. If I'm not huge on inviting people I don't know to Facebook, do you recommend making a separate account for just fitness? No. Making a new Facebook account is just like starting from ground zero, which just makes it harder for you. Like if you find it hard to connect with people on your personal page, you're going to find it harder to connect with people on a page that nobody's on. So I think that that's the case. But if you're adding mutual friends, I don't think it's super creepy. So if you have like 30 mutual friends, there was like a statistic on this. I don't remember what it was, but if you were to like add mutual friends, like you would literally never like run out of people. I always add people that are like, if we have more than like 10 mutual friends in common, like 10, 20, 30, I mean, even beyond, and they're women, because I don't like to have a lot of creepy guys on my Facebook, and they look like I might want to hang out with it. Like that's like what I base off of. All that I'm doing, I don't even reach out to these people, right? Like I just add them as a friend, and now they're seeing my posts if they accept that friend invite. So I'm just kind of organically adding it. Like I get friend requests from people. If they think I'm weird, they'll hit delete. Like they won't accept it. But they might. Yeah. So I wouldn't make a new like personal Facebook page. Maybe Instagram, but not Facebook. Courtney asked about ads as well. And again, I think that they can be cool. I think that they can be powerful. But if you're using Facebook ads, they're a monster. Not in a bad way, but they're very, very intricate. There's a lot of moving pieces, and I could give you a blanket training right now, but it probably wouldn't serve you because it's going to be so incredibly different for every single one of you, for how many people are on your page, for how consistently you post, for the quality of your content. You can pump a lot of money behind a post that kind of is mediocre and it's not going to do good still. So it just really depends there. But we gave you some really good resources for ads, I feel like. Do you guys have any hashtags on Instagram you use often and work for you the best? We kind of talked about our favorite. So think about things that you like, and I can almost get my hair up in a ponytail. How cool is this? Think about things that you like and have to do with you. These do not all have to be fitness, because the odds are you have other pieces to you as a human. Like I like working out and all, but it's not what I do all day long. I do it for 30 minutes and then it's over. So I have a lot of other things too. Like I love traveling, and I love cats, and I love Disney, and I love The Office, and I love a lot of silly things. I love positivity. I love reading books. I love Disney World. I love going to, cool places. Like you like other things, or you're a mom, or you're a wife, or you're a fiance, or you're in college, or you're a worker, like you're whatever kind of, whatever your job is. Like that might be a niche job. Maybe you're an accountant. I don't know. Or, there's somewhere where you belong in the world. Those are the people you want to attack, I guess, in a nice living way. Think about who you were before you loved fitness and before you were a coach. And like when I'm trying to hashtag people, I'm not trying to hashtag people who love everything that I love necessarily today, because 3 years ago, like I would have been really intimidated by who I am today. I feel like I would have been like, whoa, right? So I'm trying to think of the things that I used to look at on Instagram, and they weren't always fitness. I would say they were never fitness, like ever, like recipes, cooking, whatever that might be. Where do you guys find like inspiration are there like apps, or do you guys use apps or websites or any research at all?
I just search it myself. Like mine are all based on usually I like adventure. So it'll be adventure, it'll be hiking, it'll be outdoorsy things, it'll be running. I just look it up myself. And if I find a hashtag that like pops up, and it when they pop up, that means they're kind of used more, then I will check it out. And if it looks you can tell when they look scammy. You can tell if that hashtag is like not a good one. So you just make sure it looks like real people. And then, I wouldn't say I spend more than 15 minutes doing this. I do it for about 15 minutes and then I'm out of there, and I've made some combos. I've commented a little bit, and it seems to work.
That's what I do too.
Like your quality of content is going to trump your hashtags, because any 30 hashtags, use all 30, put them in the comments. Sometimes we'll see people use like 8, like use 30, what you can use. So definitely benefit from all 30 of those. But at the end of the day, like high quality content on Instagram. And by the way, Instagram is very catered to. So think about Instagram. Why was it created? Instagram was created for photography. I feel like I'm going to mute. Instagram was created initially for photography, to just share pictures, and you guys can actually listen to it. It's like, I don't know. It's a podcast. Nick always listens to it, and I should know the name of it. But I was like, how we started this. But it was Instagram and how they started Instagram and why they started Instagram. And it was really interesting to hear that people wanted to share their photography, but they sucked at taking pictures, so they made all these cool filters so that their pictures could look cooler, right? So Instagram is a place for cool pictures. Now, like, what that means to me is that it's like well lit or sharp or bright or whatever, like, it needs to be visually appealing, I suppose. Whatever it is. It could be a shoe. It could be a plate of fruit. It could be your face, your big smiling and happy face, right? Like, it could be anything. But on Instagram, like, you'll see, like, if you look at Natalie's page or Jade's page or my page, very sharp, all iPhone. And I think that's like the main factor with how to get momentum there. And consistency in posting. So if you post 1 to 2 times a day, you're going to get 1 to 2 times a day kind of results. If you post 3, 4, 5 times a day, you're going to see a lot more momentum there. I find my sweet spot. Now, do I hit this every day? No. But I find my sweet spot on Instagram. If I'm posting 5 times a day, I get so much. I can literally get like 300 more likes per picture. So I'm seeing like a triple in the engagement on my post when I post that often. I don't know why. I think that Instagram kind of pushes your stuff out to more of your feed. So I hit my sweet spot at 5 posts a day. But like I said, it doesn't happen every day, but it's just a fact.
Also, like, looking at locations, I traveled a ton this year to just like different cities and stuff. And I looked at those cities on Instagram, and I would like people's pictures, or I'd use that state or city's hashtag while I was there. And that helped a ton.
I think that's very smart. And it's not fun. Like, just have fun with it. The more fun you have with it, the more you're going to do it consistently. Whatever system you decide to build, because there's so many ways to build up an Instagram, right? Or like a Facebook account. But the more fun you have with it, you're actually going to do it. Kind of like your fitness. Like your workouts, you're going to do them. The same idea. So consistency is king. Kelly asked, program matching, realistic client goals. For example, if somebody wants to lose 50 pounds, what's a good time frame? I think generally, just like in the world, it's kind of recommended you don't lose more than like 2 pounds a week. Is that usually like what it is? So what I would be comfortable telling somebody, I lost 50 pounds, and I actually looked, I was like, well, how fast did I? Literally, it was 6 weeks. It was just bizarre. That was like almost perfectly 2 pounds a week. So I think that's kind of something you could full effort. I was doing all my workouts, and I followed my nutrition plan to a T, but that's how fast I saw results. So I think that's usually comfortable. Ask them if they want equipment, no equipment. Ask them time constraints. Ask them, do they want to work out at home? Do they want to, what are they kind of looking for? And just for those very basic things, like what is their goal? What is their beginning level? Like, are they very beginner? Because you probably can't throw them into fixed extreme if they are 100 pounds overweight and have trouble, with their joints. Like, they can hardly sit in a chair and stand up, right? So I kind of ask them just what level do you feel like you're at getting started in your fitness? How much time do you have? Like, if somebody has, 30 minutes, I can work with that, right? And usually it's 30 minutes or less. I don't have a lot of people who want to work out for hours. But you really can't go wrong. I think I recommend a lot of 21-day fix, a lot of size. If they really if they have hate working out, I do size because it's fun. If they like quarter force, is no equipment. If they kind of want a badass workout but they don't want equipment, I love X3. You guys know I'm a P90X girl. So if somebody wants to work out at home and wants to get that strong, you should recommend P90X3 because they're going to love it. There's so many good programs, right? But yeah, I think that you really can't mess up. T25, Max 30. We can't forget Shaun T's what he's made for, right? I wouldn't pair somebody up with Insanity because really long and sucks and it's awful. Maybe Natalie loves it, but I'd rather do Max 30 and get the torture over in 30 minutes. So I just kind of get some how long do you have? What are you looking to do? Do you want equipment? No equipment? where's your starting level? I think that's
Yeah.
valid.
And like, if you're very confused on it, you can always ask your coach too for help. But I feel like the 21-day fix is a pretty safe bet. So that's pretty standard in terms of your workouts.
It's very diverse.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's well-rounded, great plan, not too difficult. I mean, it's workouts. It's intense, but it's not too difficult. That's pretty much a safe bet for any human because there's enough variety that they will like some of it.
And it's 3 weeks. It's a quick win. I like that.
Very, very good. Content calendars for sure. Maybe some extra tips and tricks. So I think that some people, like, creating a social media content calendar will be helpful. And I think that some of you, it will paralyze because you'll either love that structure or you'll hate that structure. For me, it paralyzes me because if I have too much structure, the fun is taken out of it and then I lose interest. For some of you, you might love it. So you could figure out, like, you want to share a recipe and a fitness post the next day and this, or like you have an AM, afternoon, PM, like your AM's your workout check-in, your PM is a recipe at night, and your afternoon is motivation. Like, you could absolutely do that. But for some of you, you're going to be like, well, crap, I didn't have a good meal today. And then you're going to, like, hold yourself back. So kind of figure out what your vibe is there. Do you guys do content calendars?
I did this for a long time when I was super busy at the beginning of the school year. I was just so busy. So what I would do is I'd get up really early and I'd record a clip of my workout. And so I'd always post it right before school about 8 o'clock because I knew that's when people were getting up and moving. So I did that for the longest time, and then I'd post my lunch, and then in the afternoon I'd post like more of like a family or personal development. And it was working great for a while, but then, like, as I changed and as my life changed, I just transitioned to something else. So I think it's okay to see what fits well, and then you can change too. Like, it doesn't have to be set in stone.
Yeah, that's the same for me. When I was super busy in teaching, I did like the quotes. I would do like a quote once a day, a video once a day, and then like a picture of my food or a selfie or something. But I don't do that anymore.
Natalie, we have a specific question for you. How do you stay so organized to be able to do what you do? Time blocking, a certain planner? Help, I'm nowhere near as busy as you, but I struggle. Can you explain your schedule to everybody too? Because I want everybody to realize, like, homegirl at home all day.
For sure. Well, I knew in the beginning I was going to have to, if I wanted to truly work a business and I wanted to make this happen for me full time, that I was going to have to sacrifice like an hour of sleep. And that I was 100% okay with that. So currently I get 7 hours of sleep a night. That's pretty good, right? Like, that's not bad. And I was getting 8. So I wake up in the morning anywhere between 5 and 5:30. I get my workout in. I'm done by 6:15 because I'm doing T25, which is awesome. Then I get ready. I listen to my personal development in the morning. I listen to it in the car. I help get my kids ready for school. It's always like crazy here. So I never really post in the morning. Usually I'll post at lunchtime because I'm not even allowed to post during school hours either. Sometimes I do, but I'm not allowed to. So that's like, I have to work with that. And then so I'm like trying to post before in my lunch hour, and then at 3:45 I'm officially out of school, so you'll usually see a post from me about 3:45 because I've been thinking about it all day when I'm going to post. And then at that point in time during my day, you guys, I'm having voice messages. I'm having messages with people on my preps. I'm having messages with people during my lunchtime. I still, at this point, sometimes I'll like, we have block schedules. So on certain days, I'll eat lunch by myself. Other days, I do have a little bit of adult interaction. But I squeeze my messages in all those time because I'm not allowed to be on my phone at school. And then I come home. I have to go pick up my kids. By the time I get home, I mean, that's a 45-minute drive. So I'm at home making dinner, like, life is crazy. The kids are in the bathtub. I'm also doing some emails, like, while they're busy, I'm doing some emails, but then I always make time to read them a book at night or to just hang out with my family. Like, after this, Michael and I, we're going to hang out, right? Because I got my stuff done in the day. So I don't have like a set schedule because that's just not how my life is. It's crazy at all times, but I've just found what works is getting my stuff done and like not taking time to think about it for even a second. It's like, oh, I have 5 minutes, I'm doing this. Like, that's just how I am. And I think you just have to drop the excuses with it. Like, I knew when I started this business, an hour less of sleep. Okay, I'm going to get up like 5 o'clock. Sure, that stinks. waking up in the morning, but I also don't want to teach anymore. I want a life of freedom. So I do it. And I think that's just what it is. It's just committing fully to what you want to do. And you know your action steps, like you know what you have to do. So just do them, just get it done.
Discipline. I mean, at the end of the day, and I think that
Yeah.
you probably have a very solid vision for what you want your life to look like, right?
Totally.
So
Exactly.
if you don't know your future, like and I'm talking to you guys, like I want you to dream bigger than you think you can achieve. Like, because a lot, like, I don't know, like literally I was talking to my mentor today, and we were just talking about like just where like that. And I was like, it's crazy. Like a year and a half ago, I was just a little waitress, like trying to get by. I had no idea what I was doing in life, but I had a bigger vision. And that's the only way you're going to have the discipline to get your activities done, is if you know where you want to be one day at some point, right? Like, do you want to have a family and to be able to spend free time with them whenever you want? Like, I'm sure Natalie would love to not have to be away from her kids, or to not have that stress of that schedule of teacher, busy teacher schedule. It's at the end of the day, what are you willing to give up? And I know that Elizabeth Gilbert said this, what are you willing to give up for the life that you keep pretending that you want? Because if you really wanted it, you'd make it happen, right? So you have to believe that you can do it, and you have to know where you want to go for your purposes, not for anybody else. Your why needs to be slightly selfish. Like if your why is simply that you want to help other people get healthy and fit, listen, that's like number one quality of a coach. So that's every single one of us, right? But your why for wanting to start a business, right? So what do you want from your life? Like, what do you want to see? Do you want time freedom? Do you want financial freedom? Do you want to be able to travel more? Do you want to be able to spend more time with your kids? Send them to college. Let them take dance classes because you can afford it. Be at their soccer games because you don't have to miss it because, you're not working. Maybe you don't have kids like me and you want to be able to travel the world with your fiance and not have to worry about taking time off, or to bring him home so that he doesn't have to do a job that he doesn't like, or, just all around happiness. I mean, what do you want? Like, you have to dream big to have the discipline to show up every day and to do what Natalie does, right? Like, homegirl, from day one, like, I didn't have to paint this vision for Natalie. Like, Natalie was so motivated that she can take a to-do list and work in those power pockets, right? So I have literally messages in my inbox from Natalie at like 5 a.m, and like she's up, she's going, she's moving. Natalie, can we share your news, or is that like secret news stuff?
Yes, we can officially share it. So, I mean, I worked the second I even started this business. I was literally, I think I had a customer the second day. Like, I was talking to people about it because I was so excited. And I think that's also what people get attracted to. You're excited. So, I am officially, on Tuesday, I told them that I wasn't going back next year. So I am officially going to be a full-time coach come June. And it's truly because I've worked every single second, but that's what I've worked for. And it's also because I love it. So I think that you just have to keep that vision in front of you. Tell everyone you know. You guys, I was telling everyone. I was a day-old coach, and I was like, Michael, we're going to be in the Millions Club. And he's like, what? Like, you are crazy. Like, calm down. And I was like, well, it's happening. So, I mean, you better, like, think. I asked him his goals once. I was like, so what are your, like, what do you want? Because we're going to have everything we want. So, like, what do you want? And he's like, I think I just would like a little ranch house. And I'm like, no, this is what we're doing. We're going to have this many kids. Like, this is happening. This is the job I'm working. You don't even have to work in the future if you don't want to. Like, because I know that's happening. So I'm just going to make it happen. And you just have to have that, like, absolute belief in yourself to where other people might look at you like, whoa, you're a little crazy. But you just do it. You work to get to that dream, and it just falls into place. It's going to happen. If you're putting in the work, it's going to happen.
Absolutely. And so this is 1, 2, 3 officially full-time coaches, which is crazy pants because we all built this business up busy. We're all fairly young in the community. We didn't have an established following, but we do have one thing in common, and that is that we work our little booties off. Because here's the deal, you guys. Yes, you are going to have at least a year of intense work. You're going to be giving things up like Netflix. You're going to be giving things up like an occasional date night. But what you're going to gain from that is this insane freedom. I can't even tell you how cool it is to not have to report to anybody else ever. Like, ever. Like, I wake up and it's like I do whatever the hell I want, right? Like, that's cool. And to, like, make a better living than I ever was before. Now, listen, I worked and I still work very hard, but I worked so hard to make that a reality. I mean, Natalie says, waking up an hour earlier, like I was staying up an hour earlier, like that was my jam. I would stay up late. I'd get home from my bartending shift at midnight, and instead of staying there and drinking with everybody, I went home and got my power hour done, and I would make that happen. You have to figure out, what are you willing to give something up? Are you willing to put in? Like, it's gonna be at least a good year, you guys, because it's a business. Like, if you were building up a brick and mortar business, you wouldn't expect this to hit like overnight, right? Like, you'd expect to put in some work. And in fact, if you were a brick and mortar business, it takes years to be out of the red, to be making a profit. The fact that you have this opportunity right in front of you, it should be like just getting you out of bed in the morning with this fiery passion that could like attack people. Like, it's insane. And when you have that vision for your life, you're willing to put in the work to make things happen. And yes, like, it was a hard year of work for Natalie and for Jade. And they, would be tired. Like, homecoming week for Natalie was like hell week. Like, I will never forget. Like, it was hard for her. But look at the things that she's achieving, and look at the lives that she's changing. And look, like, some of you in here are Natalie's coaches. Like, look at how your lives have been impacted because Natalie chose to put in the work. That is such a gift. And that is a gift that you have to share with other people. So think about that. Congratulations, Natalie. I love you, and I'm so proud of you.
So exciting.
The coolest thing ever. We're going to start going like power hour in this speed round. We are going to go through, what do you do when people go flaky even after they were super interested? I will be upfront and be like, hey, dude, like, it kind of feels like you're not really committed or you're not ready to commit. What do you feel like is holding you back? And that's a great question. I had a coach today who was signing up, and she was like asking me so many questions. And I was like, it really seems like you actually feel like there's a reason that you can't be successful. What do you think that self-limiting belief is? Like, I literally just asked her. In 5 minutes, she was signed up. Like, so sometimes if you're like upfront with them, like, why do you think you aren't going to crush your fitness journey? Like, why do you think that anybody else can and you can't? I think sometimes it's just like, be upfront in a caring way, right? Like, you want them to crush their goal. And if you're coming from a caring place, I'm not like, I could shoot the shit for a while and try to like beat around the bush and be really, 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 really polite. But a lot of times people need a little bit of a kick in the butt. So that's what I do. Any input there?
Yeah, I do similar things. Just being a normal human being to them. Like, talk to them like you care.
Yep. And don't be afraid to ask for what you want. Like, hey, are you signing up? Like, I'm curious. This is, are you signing up? We're getting started soon. This is my business, yo.
I use the word like, are you ready to commit to your health and fitness? And normally if I say commit, they're kind of like, oh, well, my health and fitness does matter. And I'm like, well, then let's commit.
Or should I still be saving this spot for you?
Like, right.
Hey, I'm saving this spot for you. This could be somebody else's. I don't say that, but should I save this spot for you? Still, like, you're still interested, right? And kind of like positively affirming them that way. I'll literally ask them, like, why do you think you are, like, what is it that you think you're going to fail because of? And then they have to either face that and then we can tackle that, and I can kind of give them some PD loving. But a lot of times they're just scared they're going to fail. Best PD books for organization and time management. Any input there?
For time management, Miracle Morning.
Miracle Morning's great. Eat That Frog is great about getting things done that you hate. I'll kind of creep through my list really, really fastly. What's the other one? Organization. I don't know. I feel like it depends on what kind of organization you're looking for, and I feel like it's kind of a discipline thing. So, and I was the farthest thing from organized forever, ever. So I get that that's not like a discipline thing. Is not like saying like, oh, you have no discipline and you suck. That was me for sure. I had to kind of force myself into more organized systems, and over time I actually started picking them up. Like, I used to like put everything on sticky notes, and I would cover my wall in sticky notes. That's not organized, right? So I had to like pull myself out of that. But yeah, you'll find a system that works for you, for your personality. And then it's just a matter of disciplining yourself to do it. Just like your workouts, just like drinking water, right? It takes practice. We're going to keep on going. Would love to know more about how you each maintain your relationship with your clients individually. I think it depends on how much they want it personally. So I'll check in with them at the beginning a lot. After week 1, I check in with them weekly. I really don't think outside of like the accountability group is enough for their daily check-ins. They don't really want to talk to me every single day a lot of the time. So we'll do weekly check-ins, and I just kind of make sure everything's going okay. I initiate it, so I'm not just waiting for them. I'll go in my computer at 7 o'clock on Sunday nights, send messages, and ask how your week went. What do you guys do?
Especially, I do the same thing, especially with the challenge tracker app. You can send a mass message to every single person in your challenge tracker app, and it can be pretty generic, like rate your week on 1 to 10, or ask them a couple questions just to kind of see where they're at. But then if people are just MIA, I send them personal messages.
I think, yeah, just when they fall off track, message them. I do about once a week. I think that's good. I feel like I fall through with follow-ups, and I know it's important. How do you master follow-ups? And if you don't hear back after following up, do you move on or do you go back to that person? I give it 48 hours. I send them a follow-up message that I usually voice memo them if it was in my Facebook box and just like check in with them. If it was like a video I was showing them, I'll just say like, hey, do you have a chance to watch that? If they were supposed to sign up, I'll say like, hey, do you have a chance to sign up or whatever? Do you have a chance to go registration? Whatever it might be, I check in with them because here's the deal. And it's, again, this is a disciplinary behavior that you're going to learn. Right? So after a while, or I guess not disciplinary, but this is a disciplined behavior that you're going to learn is you're a business owner. There's going to be activities that you love. There's going to be activities that you don't love. Both are important. And a lot of times the ones that you don't love are the ones that desperately need to happen. There are a lot of things I absolutely hate Facebook messaging and email. I'm behind constantly, and I think that's why I hate it. Like it will never be less of a monster to me, but I do it every day. Because if I don't, it's just going to get worse, right? So you just kind of have to draw a line in the sand and commit to doing it now and moving forward. So maybe, don't worry about like all the things you might have messed up in the past. It's what you do from this day forward that really matters. But like some of you might hate inviting. Some of you might hate, I don't know, personal development or something. You need to do it anyway because you're a business owner, and it's not all fun and rainbows all the time. Even though we have one of the coolest jobs in the world and it can feel that way sometimes, there's also some things that we have to do that are CEO-like, so we have to show up just like any other business owner. We're just going to keep on rolling. We're almost through all these questions. Somebody asked about Hey Girl messages again. I think that I really liked Natalie's idea of asking questions. I think that that's really cool instead of just like, hey girl, how are you? Or hey girl, whatever. I think asking a question is really smart because you're in their message box for a purpose. And I think I'm going to start teaching that because I like it. So I think that that'll really help, find something that you can ask a question about. And if you cannot ask a question, maybe there's nothing you relate on and that's just not somebody to reach out to. And it's okay. So just keep finding new people to talk to. And that, again, that's going to be adding those mutual friends every day. Speed round. How do you deal with someone who just reads your message and doesn't respond? Again, I'll just send a message like, hey, hope everything's okay over there. Just ask for what you want. You're going to get things that you want in this world when you start asking for them. When you start being assertive and you start being the leader. I know this can be hard. I am the most non-confrontational human in the world. Jade and Natalie know this. This is something I'm working on this year because I hate confrontation. I hate it. I would do anything to avoid it. I hate feeling like I am just pushing myself on somebody. But at the end of the day, asking for what you want is the only way that you can get it. So you just kind of got to get used to it. And anything that's uncomfortable will get more comfortable the more that you do it. Tips for gaining followers on Instagram: consistency, quality of content. We kind of talked about that. And again, how do you know to back off if they said they might, but just want you to follow up? Listen, I will follow up with them until they tell me no. So if you read the book, Go for No, it's not just that you go for a lot of no's because that means you're talking to a lot of people. It means that you're pushing them to the point of no. And not like, and that might sound bad. You're not like pushing them and badgering them, right? But like I will politely follow up with them because they asked me to. And a lot of times they really do need the perfect timing. That's fine, right? But if I forget about them, that sucks too. And you don't want to run the risk that they think that you forgot about them because you were nervous that you were going to annoy somebody. So, and you'll hear Bonnie Engel talk a lot about this. She's number 2, by the way, in the company. Homegirl knows what she's doing. She does not worry about annoying people because it's kind of a selfish fear. Right? That's kind of like you're worried that somebody's going to judge you, not you're worried that they're not going to talk to you and you're going to they're going to hate you. You're worried how they're going to think about you. So you need to kind of just follow up, do your job. If they say, no, you know what, I'm not interested, stop messaging me, that is totally fine. Then politely leave their inbox, say something nice, leave the convo off, whatever. If they're like, oh no, I'm not interested, fantastic. Like, I hope you have a great day. If you ever need any help, I'm here. You know, like, just being subtle. But again, I have planned this the year of me being, you know, confrontational and telling people what I want, and stop, you know, being like a complete people pleaser. And I think that that's huge, you know, like, own your girl bossness and just get out there and take what's yours, people. Like, you want a great business? Go have it. You know what to do. You've got all the tools. Listen, you've got all of us who have done it, who have given you everything. Listen, we didn't have all of this when we were building. Like, we only have this information to share with you because we've fallen in those holes. We've learned by trial and error. We've learned by mistake. You get all that information, and you get to avoid those pitfalls. Now, listen, you're going to have some trial and error, but you get to avoid all of that. It's up to you, and you'll see people who come in and they crush it. It's Katie on here. Katie Jo Kramer is at Success Club 8. Last month, she hit like Success Club, I don't know, 12 or above. This is her second month as a coach, right? There were other people who signed up last month, but they didn't hit Success Club. They were all given the same tools. Somebody ran with it. And you have that option every single day to be exceptional, but it's up to you to make that choice. You have to have the discipline to do that. She's on. Yay! We love you. You did amazing. I'm so glad you're on. I could see your name earlier, but now I can't see anything. So I think that was most of your questions. I feel like this was a very, very productive Q&A. Natalie's got a hubby to hang out with, so we are going to let her go. But I feel like the trend of this, you guys, is just to ditch your freaking fears for 1 year. Live fearlessly. And I know it's still going to feel a little uncomfortable, but live fearlessly. Go after what you want. Like, be disciplined, be aggressive in the sense that you show up every single day. You don't care if somebody says no to you, because there's so many other people out there who might say yes. And listen, if you don't go find them, we will. So why don't you do it and build your own business and make a huge impact on this world? Start living your dream life. It's yours for the taking. But you got to decide to do it. We cannot ever do it for you. We cannot make you like fill out stuff and send it to us, and it's going to make you do your business. I never had to ask Natalie, and I never had to ask Jade to send me anything. They worked. They worked. They asked me questions when they had them. That is like the key, is just do. We all start at the same place. We all know the exact same things. So it feels funny. It's because it feels funny for everybody. You have your own business. It's not like a 1, 2, 3 perfect success. It's an experience. I hope that was helpful. I will get this up, the recording, maybe tomorrow, because I'm not going to lie, I'm hungry and I'm sleepy. So I'll get this up tomorrow. But thank you guys for showing up. We had a really good Q&A. We'll do this maybe once more, but this was really helpful. So bye, guys. Thank you, Jade and Natalie.
Yeah. Feel